8 days since the Galwan skirmish, India and China have once again agreed to disengage, and Russia says they don't need a third party to mediate. Talks have been on for a week now. Yesterday was a marathon round, 11 hours of military talks. Why so long, you may ask? Because everything has to be translated twice into and from Mandarin. Slows down the talks considerably. China has agreed to de-escalate the standoff nonetheless. It has expressed willingness to chalk out differences with India. We have some exclusive details of what transpired yesterday, what India conveyed to China. 4 key points, essentially. Number 1, India mentioned 4 pockets where the disengagement needs to take place. Patrolling point 14, that is PP14, PP15, 17A Gogra and the finger area in the Pangong Tso. The point number 2 that India raised, the 15th June incident, the pitching of the tent by Chinese troops and the fight that followed. Point number 3, India raised China's force deployment. China, remember, first brought exercising troops to the area. It escalated the situation. India only responded by sending its own. And number 4, the continuing standoff at Finger 4. India has conveyed that it no longer abides by confidence-building measures or CBMs because China has unilaterally taken action. Despite all of this, a mutual consensus on disengagement has been reached. A step-by-step withdrawal is being planned. The disengagement will happen not only in Galwan, we are told, but in all the friction areas of eastern Ladakh. The Chinese Foreign Ministry has confirmed this and is raising the peace flag. It wants future talks to be candid.
On the 22nd of June, the border forces of China and India held the second commander-level military meeting in the border area. It is also the first commander-level meeting after the Galwan Valley incident on the 15th of June. The meeting shows that China and India both hope to properly settle their differences through dialogue and consultation, manage and control the situation and ease the tension.
A similar consensus was reached on the 6th of June, remember. China violated it. So blindly believing that it will live up to its promise this time will be a mistake. And India is not making that mistake. The war-mongering by the Chinese state media has not stopped. If anything, it has become routine and more shrill. There's not a single day when they don't release videos of PLA troops preparing for war. The not-so-veiled threats have increased. So have the theatrics. The Global Times put out this video earlier today. The intention was to show how committed to duty PLA troops are. I'm not sure about their commitment, but they definitely make good TikTok stars. Take a look at this. Well done, we say. Now we know why the PLA has what they call theatre commands. In any case, catching people off guard is a Chinese technique. India still likes to play fair, and I'm not saying this for effect. The world is acknowledging China's deceit at the Ladakh border. A US intelligence report has emerged. It contradicts everything that China has been saying about the Galwan skirmish. It indicates that this face-off was an attempt by China to teach India a lesson. That the skirmish was not a result of tense circumstances spiraling out of control, but it was a quote-unquote purposeful decision by Beijing to send a message of strength to India. The Indian Army is leaving nothing to chance. The Army Chief has reached Ladakh. General M.M. Naravne is on a 2-day visit to the region. He kick-started the visit by interacting with soldiers injured at the military hospital in L.A. He will be reviewing the security challenges over the next 2 days. Back in New Delhi, dialogue is still being given priority. The foreign ministers of Russia, India and China held a virtual meeting today. Dr. S. Jaishankar said that respecting international law and recognizing legitimate interests is the need of the hour. Listen to this.
This special meeting reiterates our belief in the time-tested principles of international relations. But the challenge today is not just one of concepts and norms, but equally of their practice. The leading voices of the world must be exemplars in every way, respecting international law, recognizing the legitimate interests of partners, supporting multilateralism, and promoting common good are the only way to build a durable world order.
What about Russia? Did Russia have something to say on the Galvan skirmish? Which side did it lean towards? Well, the Russian foreign minister played it safe. Sergei Lavrov said that India and China do not need Russia's mediation.
India and China have every opportunity to consider any problems in relations between them. Problems occur between any countries, including neighbors. I don't think that India and China need any sort of help, any special assistance to help them settle specific disputes or specific situations.
Specific disputes have not so specific outcomes. The impact can be diverse. Here's an example. Moody's Investors Service has projected the Indian economy to shrink by 3.1% this year. It has mentioned India-China tensions as the direct reason, or one of the many. It says clashes on the Ladakh border suggest that geopolitical risks are rising in the entire region and that the Indian economy will suffer due to changes in these geopolitical dynamics. It is already suffering due to the virus that came from China. What does all of this tell you? That India will need to make necessary adjustments both to its foreign and defense policy. The threat from China comes in many shapes.